It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
From the 27, Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. Just a gain of a couple there. And now third down and 6 to go.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. Here we go. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. But the Bengals had a remarkable run to the Super Bowl last year, but one team that gave them trouble were these New York Jets. You might remember back in Week 8, it was the Jets rallying behind backup Mike White, who threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns, and a 34-31 New York victory over the Bengals. On second and 9, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. The former third overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
Big Quinnen Williams continuing to improve in the middle of that line for New York. Had 13 sacks in his last 2 seasons, which is excellent for a defensive tackle.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This is caught. It's Boyd. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 14. That's good for 28 yards.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Forced throw here on target to Hurst. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Burrow going to keep it himself. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Extra bulk up front for second and inches. 3 tight ends. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Joe Burrow, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. He finds Wilson. That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Wilson. That complete to the former Bengal, C.J. Uzomah. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. Here we go. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter.
On 1, ready?
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Here's Burrow. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The Jets at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down.
Here we go.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
12.
Again, it's Mixon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Burrow looking to pass. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Now Burrow on 1st down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here we go.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And Burrow going to throw again. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Now Hall to start the drive. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. It's Logan Wilson there to bring him down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation
was felt also by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
They go play action now. Wilson. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm not sure it made a difference on that play, but one thing to keep in mind, here in the early part of the year during a day game, the sun does play a factor on deep balls.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson. Open man is Uzama. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We'll remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. All again on 2nd down. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So Wilson runs off, and now they will go to the man they call Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And that is no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
I'm wondering.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. He got 29 yards that time. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Burrow. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about
How much pressure is in the face of a guy? And can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis, operating gun, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals drive about to get going. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game and down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get on the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get any. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
All again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
If you're going to choose a franchise back from the 2022 class, most figure it would be Breece Hall out of Iowa State. and he was the first guy off the board to the New York Jets. More than looked the part of a bell cow offensive cornerstone at Iowa State, and by testing numbers, one of the best athletes we've seen enter the league at his position.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On second down, a run with Hall. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Here we go.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Had to pass there. Third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Moore. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore, 52 yards. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Wilson going to throw for it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They begin with a run by Mixon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Again, it's Mixon. And some room to roam now. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. We have played 3 quarters.
Here we go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's got room. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing is Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left. He tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
The Bengals on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
This goes out wide from Mixon. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon,
his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year.
And the Bengals are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And they open the lead up now to 25.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Ball again on second down.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Wilson. And now here is another interception.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed.
And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
49 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Ball again on 2nd down. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
On the counter, it's Hall. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try to find some targets in the open field downfield.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. Across the line and to the ball quickly there, Trey Hendrickson.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
One last shot for Wilson. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So for the Bengals, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the